A lot of people actually know QuickBooks for the accounting part of things, but in today's conversation, I want to really share with you the funding aspect of things. So, QuickBooks actually is really big when it comes to funding small businesses in this country, but you got to really meet certain requirements, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's conversation. So, let me first go back to QuickBooks Capital 101. What is QuickBooks Capital? Okay, let's quickly have a conversation about that. The thing is that this service is actually the financial arm, okay, that Intuit Financing really has. So QuickBooks is actually owned by Intuit, and so with QuickBooks Capital, you're able to get access to small business loans. So as a business owner, the cool thing is that you can apply for a business loan directly from your QuickBooks account, which means what? It means that for you to qualify for QuickBooks Capital, you got to use the software in the first place. Okay, so the service offers installment loans and a line of credit. So it really that's kind of cool, and you are able to apply for other small business loans. If you don't like the installment loan or the line of credit, you can apply for other small business loans through a place called QuickBooks Capital Marketplace. So they have a marketplace that connects users to a network of QuickBooks lender partners. So that's kind of cool because if you are within the QuickBooks, let's say space, you're able to use their products. They're able to use to use also their line of credit or loan. If you don't like it, you can really look for, let's say, equipment financing or accounts receivable financing. That's kind of cool. So on the marketplace, for instance, you have the likes of Balboa Capital. Okay, you have a lot of players. You have Lendio, you have SmartBiz, among others. Okay, and so Intuit partners with WebBank to offer this financial products because QuickBooks is not a bank. So for them to actually lend to you, they have to be sort of attached to a regulatory enterprise, a bank, if you will, or a credit union. Okay, but the thing is that QuickBooks Capital leverages information in your business's QuickBooks account to evaluate QuickBooks like your financial performance, but also determine your QuickBooks loan eligibility. Okay, so QuickBooks Capital will automatically populate the application with information from your account, so you are able to speed up the process real time. So that's really fantastic. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that basically this product started about 8 years ago, so 2017, 2018. So it's not really that long, but hey, listen, it has been really doing great for the last few years. So if you think about QuickBooks Capital, for you, how does that work? Let me first talk to you about the loan amounts that you can have. If you remember, I just said that you have line of credit and then you have term loans, right? Installment loans, term loans. So you have two products primarily. So when you think about QuickBooks Capital installment loans, aka term loans, you have loan amounts that go from $1,500 to $200,000. So if you have a QuickBooks account, you're using the software for your business, and you want to borrow from them, you are able to get anywhere from $1,500 to $200,000. The APR will go from 10% to 34%. Remember, QuickBooks Capital is not a bank, so they are going. All those products are actually sourced through WebBank. Okay, and since this is a term loan, the term actually goes from 6 to 24 months. So you have to really repay your QuickBooks Capital loan within 2 years maximum, and you can be funded actually within 1 to 2 business days. So that's really fast. If you were to compare this to a regular business loan, if you went to a bank, for instance, this could probably take like 3 to 4 to 5 or even 7 days. If you went to a credit union, it could probably take 3 to 4 days. So luckily, the cool thing is QuickBooks Capital really is faster because they already have your data anyway. I mean, they'll pull in data from your QuickBooks account. Okay, so that's for the term loan. You also have the line of credit. The line of credit is actually less generous in the sense that you don't get $1,500 to $200,000. You have $1,000 to $50,000, and the interest is lower though. You have 12% all the way to 36%, 30 to 36%. But again, the terms here, the repayment window is actually 6 to 24 months. As you know, a business line of credit, there is no maturity date, right? Whatever you use, whatever you tap into the line of credit, you have to repay it, right? So, but the thing is, the validity period for this QuickBooks line of credit is 2 years. After 2 years, they see how your account is doing, and they will either think about extending it or just cutting it. So the QuickBooks Capital Marketplace, like I said, is the third place where you can get whatever loan you want anyway. So if you think about QuickBooks Capital this year, let me talk to you about the qualification. In other words, do you qualify? Does your business qualify for QuickBooks Capital? First of all, how long have you been using QuickBooks Capital? I mean, not Capital, QuickBooks, the software. How long have you been using it? Okay, because that's really important because they need to have some kind of history to see how your business is doing. You can't be like you can't just start using QuickBooks, let's say, and after 1 month or 3 months, you say, I need a loan from QuickBooks. No, they'll ask you more info. I mean, you can still qualify for a loan. Don't get me wrong, you can qualify for a loan, but they'll ask you more data because they need more data. Okay, so basically, you gotta have an annual revenue of at least $50,000. So I'm speaking about annual. So in the last 12 months, you gotta really make at least $50,000. Okay, so you gotta be using QuickBooks for at least 6 months for you to qualify. Okay, sometimes they check your credit score. If they do, they will ask you for minimum 600, 620, 620, but they don't really check your credit score that much. Why? Because they look at your data. Okay, they look at your revenue. They look at your cash inflows and cash outflows, and because QuickBooks actually stores all that data, their team can analyze things faster. Okay, so they can or may not ask you for your FICO score. And one thing I want to say here also is that when it comes to a QuickBooks Capital, you don't need to actually post collateral. Okay, this is an unsecured loan. They're not going to ask you to pledge collateral. The only thing is that you have to really understand they'll drill into your data. They'll look into your data to make sure that you are the right candidate for their loan products. Okay. Now, having said that, you are going to really you might get some extra documentation, like requests for extra documentation from QuickBooks in case they need certain things to verify your data, right? And just remember that your credit score is not going to be affected, even though they might also ask you for your business credit score in some cases. So when it comes to a QuickBooks Capital this year, how do you apply for it? How do you apply for a loan? How do you apply to the QuickBooks Capital itself? First of all, I think I've said this before, but you gotta be using QuickBooks software for at least 6 months. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to log into your QuickBooks account first and foremost. So you want to make sure that all your info there, your business's info there, is up to date because they'll be asking you like some kind of info. So make sure that your data is already updated. So once you go to your dashboard, you want to go to the banking or tools section. It's called banking or tools section. Okay, it depends on the kind of version of QuickBooks you have, but or even the region where you are at. So sometimes it's capital, sometimes it's banking, or sometimes it's tools. And you have to click on apply now so you can really go to the QuickBooks capital or application page. And then you have to opt in to give your consent to share your data with financial partners. I mean, they got to really share your data with financial partners. That's how they make money too. But hey, listen, basically, if you want to participate in the QuickBooks marketplace, that's how you participate. So once you apply through your QuickBooks account, you want to review and choose an offer because they'll be giving you a 2 or 3, maximum five offers. Okay. Remember, we're speaking about soft pulls here, no hard pull. That's kind of cool. So depending on your business's financials, you may receive multiple funding offers. Just make sure that you carefully review your personalized funding offers, okay, to find the best one that actually that suits your needs, and then you get funded, okay. So once you select an offer and get approved, things go faster from there. Remember, They will approve you within 1 to 2 business days. You will receive the funds within 2 extra days. Okay, that's kind of cool. You will receive the funds in your business bank account. Of course, the funds will come from web bank. Remember that QuickBooks has partnered with WebBank to optimize its funding process. So the repayment process begins after you receive your funds. Okay, don't forget that you are speaking about a window that go from 6 to 24 months. Okay, acceptable payments include ACH transfers, wire transfers, and also checks. So that's really good. And also, there is no prepayment penalty. You can pay off the total amount at any time, depending on your liquidity. Okay, that's really fantastic from a scalability point of view. That's really fantastic. So when it comes to QuickBooks Capital, one thing you need to understand is that you really have flexibility baked in the whole process. Let me explain. QuickBooks Capital offers numerous advantages for your business. For instance, you have a quick application and funding process. Can you imagine? Like I said a little earlier, when you go to a bank or a credit union, you spend like years, I mean, not years, you spend literally days to be approved or to actually be reviewed, right? And QuickBooks is doing everything within 1 to 2 business days. That's kind of cool. So you are able to access funds promptly for urgent financial needs. Okay, so unlike other funding options, QuickBooks Capital does not have hidden fees or prepayment penalties. So your business can save money in the long run, especially if you are constantly borrowing to expand, right? So basically, you can through QuickBooks Capital, you are also able to have tailored funding options based on your individual business performance and requirements, right? So you're able to borrow only what you really need. Okay. So integration with QuickBooks accounting software actually is another big advantage. Why? Because it really simplifies the whole process of financial management. So you're able, for instance, to track your accounting data alongside the funding options. So you're able to get things done, and you are also able to get a very straightforward application process that really gives you a feedback as you kick off the process, right? So that's really good. It's a give and take process. So those are some of the advantages of QuickBooks Capital, right? So you have a lot of possibility, a lot of flexibility as well. What are the cons here? What are the disadvantages? Because there are some disadvantages. Okay. First of all, you got to use QuickBooks. Okay. You got to be using it for at least 6 months to qualify. Now, the APR also is kind of high. I mean, you're looking at the maximum of 30%, sometimes even 36%. Okay. And basically, you need to understand that QuickBooks Capital offers limited funding products. So if you're looking for anything else, anything besides a loan and a line of credit, you got to look elsewhere because QuickBooks Capital doesn't have that level of funding, let's say, depth right now. So when you think about QuickBooks Capital, you need to understand that you do have a quick application and funding process. So that's really good. You also have to understand that you have a hassle-free experience for QuickBooks users. So if your team has been using QuickBooks for the last 6 months and they're comfortable with QuickBooks and they're really comfortable with everything the tool offers, if you were to really apply for a loan, you will love how smooth the whole process is. Okay, you have also the ability to integrate with QuickBooks accounting software. You have tailored funding options based on the business performance. That's kind of cool. So this is actually an area that I want to discuss in the sense that it gives you flexibility. It gives you a lot of possibilities, but it also gives you a lot of efficiency. Okay. So that's for the pros when it comes to QuickBooks Capital. What about the cons? What are the drawbacks to using this? Well, I think I've said this before. You have potentially high interest rates. You have a tool that's only available to QuickBooks users. So if you're not a QuickBooks user, you're not going to even be able to afford like not afford. Let's say, think about the possibility of getting this funding option. There could be a requirement for a personal guarantee in some cases, so the threat of a PG is there, okay, for QuickBooks to make sure that they are really covering their back. I mean, you do have limited loan amounts and products compared to other lenders, and you have varied customer service experiences. Okay, so it is what it is. If you want to really work with QuickBooks, you just have to remember that they have, their customer service is not really, really reliable, and they've been doing this for a while now. But yeah, it is what it is. So when it comes to QuickBooks Capital, you have to understand that this is a legitimate lending service, okay? And the service is backed by Intuit Financing. As you know, Intuit has been around for many decades. They are behind the likes of Credit Karma, TurboTax, among other things, okay? And you have a well-known and trustworthy company with a strong reputation in the industry when it comes to money management, okay? So you are able to use QuickBooks Capital to do a lot of things, especially when it comes to getting the funding you need. Now, one thing I want to say here is that if you are looking for a QuickBooks Capital review to sort of gauge the interest out there, this might be a little hard because it's one of those things where it's difficult to find online reviews that separate QuickBooks Capital from the larger accounting software company. Okay, however, if you are able to get some kind of reviews, you are better off going to Google Review. Okay, go to Google Review or Triple B. Triple B. That's really so. One thing I want to say here is that if QuickBooks Capital denies your application, you have the possibility to apply for a regular loan, a regular business loan. Okay, because QuickBooks Capital may decline your application for insufficient transaction volume or out of date accounting information or even a low credit score. So this is something that you need to think about. And if you receive a denial, you want to review the reasons carefully so that because if you understand how your loan file was not approved, you improve future attempts. And if the denial letter actually doesn't explain the reasons for the denial, or if you need more info, you want to contact QuickBooks Capital directly. So they'll be able to give you some kind of info. Okay. So you may also be interested in making sure that you reach out to other lenders, even regular lenders or credit union. I mean, regular lenders, that is banks and credit unions, or even online lenders. Okay, and with them, you can get loans such as bad credit business loans for women, equipment financing, merchant cash advance, revenue based loans, SBA loans, working capital loans, and ETC advance. So ERTC advance, that's kind of cool, especially when it comes to getting the things done at the same time. So as a callback to this conversation, I was talking to you about QuickBooks Capital. I defined what the service is, okay? What are the qualifications, how to apply, and what are the pros and cons of this tool. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.